Hey, everybody. This is Katie Woodard, and we're doing session 9, Capture More Leads. Ignite has been fantastic so far. For those of you who did homework, I appreciate you guys sending that to me. If you haven't done it, feel free to send that. I think so far we've had create your unique value proposition, email me that, a couple of sentences. It should be something that spells out who you are and what you do to help people and how that is a value to the consumer and your clients. I've had you guys create an open house plan, what you would do for an open house to make it the best possible open house, get the most attendance and lead generate through that. And then we also, this last week, did social media posts, and we're going to do a little contest around that. I've had a couple of you send me your social media posts. So anyway, if you're watching this later and not part of our group, totally cool. Feel free to do those things. I think they're excellent exercises, and I think it sharpens your skill on what you're going to be doing in the future. So today we're going to talk about capturing more leads. All right, we have gone through being the real estate expert of choice. Now we're at the very last session of the lead generation portion. Next week, we're going to do lead follow-up, and then we'll get into transacting the business with buyers and sellers, making offers, negotiating offers, and getting to the closing table. All right, so today we're going to talk about systems at work, prospecting versus marketing. We've touched on that a little bit. The gold mine of referrals, I can attest to that, more sources, and the ability to capture every lead. Gary Keller says in The Shift, you love people, but at the same time, you haven't yet learned to love hunting for them. It's kind of interesting. All right, your number one job is to find ways to get in the path of motivated buyers and sellers. Gary Keller, again, The Shift. We've done a lot of studying in The Shift in the last couple of years, especially I think it was like day one, COVID hit, everything shut down, and much like I'm doing now, sitting at my table on Zoom, reading through The Shift and excerpts of it. If you don't have that book, you definitely need to get in it right now. They have it audio tape, Audible, and then also just the old-fashioned paper book. But write this down somewhere, put it on your phone, put it on your computer, put it on your mirror, whatever, wherever somewhere you can see it often. Your number one job, and I will say my number one job is to find ways to get in the path of motivated buyers and sellers. You're going to have so many conversations, so many, and that way it places you in the path that you need to be. All right, so the 2 M's of lead generation is message and method. Again, we've touched on this a little bit. So your message, excuse me, your message needs to match your market. Your message needs to make an offer. I've taught many team meetings and classes on the MOFR, which is make offer for immediate response. MOFR, MOFIR. So anytime you put a message out there, there should be some clear response that the consumer can do. Is it make a call? Is it contact today? Is it hit the like button? Is it share this post? Is it come to my open house? What is that? You're matching your market, right? So the first one, you have a target audience, and you have target market conditions. So we've talked about finding your niche, finding your thing. What is your target audience, right? Who is if you were to write down today who your perfect clients were, who you would enjoy working with, and many of you are going, well, anybody. That's not true. That's not true. So who are those people that you are a great fit for and they're a great fit for you? And then the market conditions. We've talked about this. Make sure that your message is touching on what's happening in the market. It would be very silly to post things on low interest rates and plenty of listings, come take your pick. That doesn't match the market. Right now, the interest rates have been steadily increasing. It's caused a lot of issues with the payment tolerance for buyers. You need to be relevant to that in any message that you make, whether it's a graphic, whether you're doing a video, whether you're doing mailers. Make sure you know what's happening in the market. And then we said that MOFR, make an offer. So you can have a direct offer for response or an indirect offer. And basically, like I said, that is share this, like this, call me today, enter to win, come attend this event. It's requiring someone to respond. So you're not just going, hey, I'm an excellent agent. You're going, hey, I'm an excellent agent, and let all your friends know by sharing this post. And some of you guys had incredible numbers of shares. So that was fantastic. And then your method, okay? We're going to dive a little bit more into the prospecting and marketing, but you have prospect, you have marketing. What is under there? It's so important. Time block. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. That's another fun, bold law. So if you say, I'm going to lead generate, or hey man, I'm going to, every time I've given homework, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to send that to you next week, but you didn't put it on your calendar. What are the odds are you did it? If you didn't make time for it, the work fills the time allowed. Another bold law. Make sure you have it on your calendar because it's a priority to you. When you time block, you prepare, you take action, and then you maintain. We're going to talk a little bit more about what that means. All right, so leads are everywhere. First, you have to approach a lead, you have to connect with a lead, and then you have to ask for the business, ask for the referral. Simply don't just say, hey, I'm an agent, here's my card. Although it works for some people, right? You want to approach someone in a warm way. You want to connect with them, let them know what you're doing, be interested in what they are doing, who they are, and what their need could be, and then ask if there's something that you can help them with. Make sure you're doing that consistently throughout the day, wherever you are, grocery store, it doesn't matter. Make sure. Okay, and then here's our time for ahas. All right. Back to the shift. Lead generation is a contact sport. I have a t-shirt that says that. With simple rules. It means making contact with people through prospecting and marketing. Yes, I have that t-shirt that lead generation is a contact sport, and it has all the little icons of different ways to connect with people. That was cute. All right, so this here is a diagram. Again, I have done this, copied it from Jason Abrams for many team meetings and sessions. But essentially, if you're looking at the squiggly line there in the middle, that is kind of every 7 to 10 years, someone moves. This is the path of them over time, okay? And the two humps are between the humps, that's 7 to 10 years, because that's what the statistics show, how often someone moves. Now, when is someone a likelihood not going to move again? They're probably not going to move immediately after they move. That's why you have the dips. They spend time in their home, and then you're tracking back up and they're getting ready to move again. Okay. When is it oftentimes that we find out someone wants to move? Majority of the time, it's you're driving in your neighborhood and you see your neighbor has the sign in the yard for sale. You are talking at church and somebody says, oh, I just bought a house. You see a cousin on Facebook and they have just posted a closing. It's just a little bit too late. So the point is, these little dashes here are how, when we're talking about lead generation and we're talking about staying and being connected and building relationships, that means that you're in touch with these people frequently, consistently. They know you care about them. And so when they're making that decision, they're getting ready for a move, you're the person in the closest emotional proximity to that decision. So of course, you're the one they choose to do business with, not their cousin who maybe didn't contact them enough, not some random billboard. It's you, because you have been in touch. Y'all, this has been studied. There has been so much data around it. This is the truth. Please follow this. Okay, so here's prospecting versus marketing. We've touched on this before. Marketing is the top of the triangle, not the base. So many people get this wrong. If you do marketing first, the triangle is lopsided and is not sturdy. So you want to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Prospecting is time intensive, which, hey, you know what? You don't have a lot of business going on right now. You may have another job, another career, but you don't have a ton of business that you're chasing. You have all the time to work on your business. It allows you to be proactive. It allows for immediate results. Prospecting is that face-to-face when you get belly to belly with somebody. And then marketing is more of a money intensive situation. Now we have social media. It allows you to do a lot of different marketing. But if you were to do radio ads, TV ads, mailers, newsletters, billboards, whatever it is, wrap your car, that would be money intensive, and it would be passive. Like literally someone would just have to happen upon it at the right time to make the choice. And it does get long-term results. I'm not saying it doesn't, but that prospecting, that's where you need to be. All right, here's some examples of some prospecting. Feel free to screenshot this. It is in the Ignite materials as well, so you can have that. That's been emailed out several times. And if you need it again, just let me know. Okay, so phone or face-to-face, of course. It says listing without agency, and that means as a transaction broker. Some people, you know, or no listings without agency. That means that someone that could want you to be transaction broker or that have listed before. So for sale by owners, expired. Circle prospecting, that means door knocking, neighborhoods, reaching out to them, connecting with them, reaching out to apartment complexes. Please talk to the property managers. Sometimes they are fine with it, sometimes they are not. So please be sure you have permission. Recently sold listings. So sending out things and talking to people about things that have recently sold in their neighborhood. Did they know the price of it and what the increase was from the time they bought it, things like that. And then recently listed properties, go in and doing open houses and things. Okay, so you have community outreach, doing charity work, doing volunteer work. You have key relationships with different corporations, if they have relocation, things like that. Builders, a lot of the builders around here also have their own brokerage license and have on-site agents, but sometimes you guys, those on-site agents want sitters. So like they occasionally would like to take a Saturday off. And so communicating with some of those, seeing if they need a sitter, what they'll do is they'll work out a really nice deal with you. And basically it's you're holding the houses open. Banks that do any sort of foreclosure, things like that. It's really difficult to get on one of those bank lists, but if you do, that's a really good one. Third-party data companies, that means connecting with lead companies, and then investors. So those that are investing, flipping, doing that a lot, you're going to have that. Those will be a key relationship. Teaching and speaking opportunities, and I will tell you, that is so great. So either you can speak or teach at like the YMCA and do seminars, or do, like we said, first time home buyer seminars, listing your home for the max return, things like that, providing meals, doing meals, sort of an event thing, door-to-door canvassing. We talked about door knocking and the circle prospecting, working networking events, doing booths and kiosks at different events, and then just having walk-in attention. At our office, I could say probably in the last 5 years, we've probably had about 5 walk-ins. There really hasn't been a ton. So that's really cool. All right, here's marketing. Offline advertising. So the radio, TV, newspaper, putting things on your vehicle, bus stop benches, magazines, billboards, yellow pages, grocery carts, moving vans, online advertising. That's that pay-per-click advertising, SEO. So that the keyword search you're paying for, your placement in those Google searches and in different things, social media and different portals and platforms. Broadcast content. So radio segments, getting on TV shows, doing more live social media. I think it's interesting they added that. Blogs or vlogs, direct mail with postcard campaigns, special event cards, just sold, just listed, quarterly market updates, promotional items, public relations, press, news releases, advice columns, and sponsorship of events and local teams and charities. Okay, so here are some things that are both. This is where you really want to make sure, as you're looking at your lead generation, you are doing some of this heavily. So farming is both prospecting and marketing. You have geographic farming and demographic farming. So you would be looking at geographically, okay, this is the neighborhood that I want to focus on. I'm going to farm it. And it is time intensive, you guys. You have to put a lot in it. I'm going to do the letters. I'm going to do emails. I'm going to do door knocks. I'm going to do open houses in the same, everything's going to be focused in this neighborhood. And then the demographic is, I know that this, you can look up how long people have been in the home. So if someone has been in the home in that 7 to 10 years, you would be reaching out to them specifically regarding if they have a decision to downsize. Someone who sold maybe back in the day and don't maybe know the value that their home exists in today's market. So specifically farming, events, open houses, seminars, contests, client appreciation events. If you don't have a client appreciation event, create a Friends of Katie pop buys. Networking, so your sphere, getting together with them. Are there different events that you can meet people at? I know, you know, the chamber does stuff, the city councils do stuff. Get involved. Past clients, allied resources, and other agents. So making sure that you're attending classes when you can, that you're going to functions when you can at the board, because you want that agent to agent networking. And then the purchased different way of lead generation is referral networks, advertising networks, and clientele. So again, that's purchase leads. There are some of the Facebook groups online that you can join, and you're paying for access to their VIP lists or whatever. I don't get into all that, but if that's part of something that you would like to explore, we can do that. I can point you in the right direction regarding that. All right, so let's talk about gold mines of referrals. So client referrals. You want to make sure that you're always providing value. You're sharing your app, you share market statistics, you provide them with a vendor list anytime they need a vendor. You're asking for referrals, you're rewarding those referrals, and then you send a thank you handwritten note. So specifically, with clients. So right now I've got a listing closing next week, and then a buyer. Both are referrals from agents in KW, and the buyer has several friends. So they have said it's first time home buyers, but they've got several people they know getting ready in that same kind of out of college into job, been saving money. So should be good, you know, have careers going. They should be good buyers. And so saying, hey, I definitely want your referrals. Every time they're like, oh, thank you so much. I'm like, just remember me. If you have any friends, you're going to have to reiterate that, right? Make sure I get a testimonial from them. Thank you so much. So when I talk to their friends that are also buyers in the same situation, I'm immediately going to text or call them and say, hey, I connected with so-and-so. I'm going to keep you up to date. I'm going to send them a thank you note. I'm going to definitely give them a little prize when the closing happens. But what most people do is they wait till closing. So don't wait till closing. Give them a shout out on Facebook. Oh, I just want to thank so-and-so so much for the referral. That's important. Okay. Everybody likes to be thanked. All right, so agent to agent referrals. So for the last 4.5 years, I've been team leader at KW and have stepped out of that. And in that time, I spent a lot of time going to other classes in Birmingham, in Dothan, and I have built some fantastic relationships with a lot of people all over the state. Just even when we did leadership stuff, I met leadership there, and I met different ALC members in Huntsville and gosh, Tennessee. I can't even tell you. So going to all the national events, the regional events, things like that, I've connected with some fantastic agents. And through the years, they have called me when they had somebody that they need a business down here. Now, of course, being a team leader, I referred that to someone in the office that was actively buying and selling. But now the listing I have is a referral from a KW agent. The buyer that I'm working with right now is a referral from a KW agent. And it was funny because it's actually a Birmingham agent's the mom, and the kids are buying down here. They're not kids, but buying down here, they're newly married, and the mom is not licensed, is not part of the board down here. So she needed a referral partner. She put in her Facebook group of her office in KW Vestavia, and they have about 400 plus agents. and was like, hey, do you know anybody, blah, 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 on Pike Road? And she said people were personally calling her saying, you need to call Katie Woodard. That's what you want. So if you have a chance to go to different events, be sure you are networking with people. Bold is an excellent opportunity. Typically, we share that with another office. We join with Dothan and Auburn, and there were some excellent relationships built in years past. We drove up to Birmingham to attend it. Was it an $800 class? Yes. Was it a pain in the neck to drive an hour and a half to attend a class at 7 a.m. for 7 weeks? Yes. Has everybody made that up in agent-to-agent referral relationships? Yes. So don't negate and go, oh, well, you know, I may not know anybody, or like, it's so important. Even y'all, Auburn, I know there's a lot of people crossover between Auburn and Montgomery, and people belong to both boards sometimes, but really sometimes it's a hassle, right? Getting over here when they can't. Just make sure that you're knowing people in different markets. When you go to the beach, you know, stop in and connect with, if there's a KW around, or message somebody and just say, hey, I mean, we love that. We love talking. We're agents. Don't be afraid to say hello. And you never know how that relationship could benefit you through referrals. All right. So you want to grow your database through referrals. You can do that in Command. I can do a whole session on that. You want to maintain those relationships. So don't just connect one time, put them on their own special, maybe smart plan, and say, hey, just want to let you know, this is what's going on in Montgomery. Just checking in. I have 2 referral friends, I'll say, in Florida. And even though as a team leader, they would send me their information, like once a quarter, I think it was, I would get a, hey, this is what's going on in Gulf Shores, or hey, this is what's happening in Florida. It's that time again. Spring's coming, spring break's here. If you need suggestions on where to go for spring break in our area, let me know. It's really maintaining that relationship. Birthday cards. I can't tell you how many birthday cards I've gotten from agents. And again, I wasn't even in sales at the time. So they're just maintaining that relationship with me. And then managing if there's an update needed, and making sure that you have them in Command updated so you know how to get in touch with them. All right, here's a referral network. I'm going to do another video on how to utilize that. And we also have worldwide referrals. So we are in 52 or 53 countries outside of the United States and Canada. So we have a very vast reach. All right, business to business referrals. This is something that we spend some time talking about in Bold, and there's a lot of scripts around it. And actually, I think you guys now have in this new material, calling a business and saying, hey, I'm putting together a vendor list, and I want to make sure that my clients have the best vendors in town. And so if you wouldn't mind, send me some of your information. I'd love to add you to the list. Oh, by the way, if you have people in your business looking for a real estate agent, could you please refer them to me? Okay, do you have some materials that you can pass out? I'm going to do a home buying seminar. Would you like to come join? Okay, at the same time, you can invite people and tell them I'm your preferred realtor. There's groups like BNI, there's different things like that you can join that cost money, but really the old fashioned way, starting with the people that you know, reaching out to them and saying, hey, when I need a great landscaper, I'm putting together this list. I want to put your information on there. Can you do the same for me when you find somebody needing an agent? That's that business to business referral. Now, there's not money that passes with that. Okay, let's remember that, RESPA, but that is a way that you're promoting their business, they're promoting yours, and it's called a business to business referral. All right. So here's some more sources. We talked about geographic farming, looking at a neighborhood, make sure your focus is on marketing and prospecting. Again, this is a time intensive. You really need to put probably several months into it with several consistent touches to make it work. Open houses, social media, different conversations, contacts you already have in that neighborhood, notes. I would start in the neighborhood you live in. Odds are you already have some relationships that you're probably not touching on at this time. All right, events and seminars, we have talked about this up teen times, making sure that you take advantage of hosting an event. And you can use the office to do whatever seminar. Keller Williams has already created all of the PowerPoints, all the presentations on first time homebuyer seminar. You can get yourself a partner to come sponsor it with you. And the room holds about 25 people. So that would be a fantastic way to promote what you're doing. You can get out on social media with it. You can send invitations out. You can talk to people on the phone about it. And then you can definitely connect with the people that attend. All right. So again, leads are everywhere. The grocery store, the coffee shop, the repair shop, hair salon, dentist office, wherever you go, look for those leads. All right. So again, we want to use command to capture the leads. Anybody that downloads your app comes in, but they'll only have their email address in there. So you want to get their phone number. If you text it to them, that's probably the best way if you have the ability to do that. Then you get their phone number and their email address, but making sure that you're updating with them. This is an excellent lead generation plan. You want to connect with your sphere, build and feed your database. We talked about that. Capture leads from different open houses, build your community with social media, and capture those leads that come your way. You want to execute a referral strategy, choose a geographic area to focus your door knocking efforts, and consider events and seminars. All right, guys, I hope that your thinking has changed a little today, that you got new ideas or mindsets. You feel differently about some things that we talked about. Things were very meaningful to you. I want to ask you how your behaviors will be different going forward. What new actions will you take? What tools, models, or systems will you use, and how will they make you accountable? Let me know if you have any questions. I apologize that this is coming out a little bit later than normal, and I appreciate you all spending time with me. Thanks.